We're gonna do a song that you never heard before.
The volume.
Here they come and get wicked. Here we go again.
Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother. What's good though?
What's good with you, bro?
Man, it is already starting to be a this is it let me tell you what's how the week has been going. So the funny thing is that it's been so I haven't washed my truck in I don't know 3 months because all it's been wintertime, right? So you get that winter sludgy look or whatever. It's in a ride and Landon was like, yo, your wheels don't even look they chrome. They so dusty basically though, man. I went ahead and washed my joint on and it rained today and it's supposed to rain for like 5 straight days on out here though. The good part though is that while I was washing my truck, I pulled Billie Jean out because the other day it was like 72 degrees. So I watched Billie Jean on the first time. The good thing is my girl been in the garage covered on up, so I ain't have to worry about much at all. Got a chance to clean on up real good though, man. Drove Billie Jean for like the first time since I shot my video, matter of fact. And so it was pretty cool though, man. So it's been that kind of week. Bad part is that like that weekend before, um, the pollen out here is already getting cracking over here though, man. So my seasonal allergies kicked in early this year though, man. I usually it's hit or miss. One year I might be all right, one year I might not be. This year it happened and it's happened early though, man. Crazy.
Man, it's funny you say that because I didn't know if we was gonna pod today, bro. I got sick so bad yesterday, bro. I had like 100 temp, and then boy had the body aches and everything. But it seemed like it was some 24-hour little thing I had because I bounced back pretty quick.
Hmm.
But when you was talking about the weather, so it's like we had these 80-degree weather days, and we about to hit this real super cold front tomorrow. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah, it's
Dang.
supposed to be down to like in the 40s tomorrow.
No, we getting rain for like five straight days, 6 straight days. It's crazy too though. But my truck still need to be washed nonetheless though. So yeah, it's cool.
Well, cool, bro. Well, we got a lot to talk about. Let's get this music popping off.
Let's do it.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest
It
podcast
doesn't
of all
matter
time.
what your name is. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Podcast of all time.
And listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube pages. We are live on both platforms at the same time. You click on the notification, you click on the bell, you get the heads up whenever your boys and is doing their thing so that you see the boys is on air like your little cool flat little sign in the backdrop there. Not gonna cap. Pretty fly, pretty fly.
I appreciate
You know,
it.
it's funny though.
Appreciate
I still got to go back and listen to go back and rewatch a pod because I still don't hear the music when you play it. I only hear like the pieces of it. Like I'll hear when you do the rocks, I'll hear pieces, but I never hear the actual music though. I can
So,
only hear like hi hats.
well, it's there because I've been going back. I mean, obviously, I go and repost the podcast to the YouTube. But what it is that when our microphones are hot, it it takes the volume of the stuff down, so we have to mute our stuff so that That's what it is. Because the music's
Let
there.
me tell you, let me tell you something. Let me tell you right now something that I'm extremely proud of right now. So here's what's funny. So I told you that before. I'm very when it comes to my hats, right?
Yeah,
I'm big on my hats. I couldn't. This is Landon's hat, right? And I was
yeah.
like, I was about to put my fitted on. I said, I'm gonna force myself to put this one on to see how it actually looks on camera, and it looks kind of cool though,
No,
man.
no, no. It
So
is very cool. What it is so it is it fitted?
this is a
It looks
snapback
dope.
trucker hat. Remember,
Yeah,
remember I was telling
yeah,
you,
yeah.
yeah, I was. Listen, I had been waiting because what's funny about that is that I have one that no, it's a full fitted, but there's a particular one like this, same
Yeah.
fit that I want to get in a different color. And I was like, let me throw it on real quick. And I had my fitting right by me just in case it didn't look right on camera though, bro. But
Nah,
I
it
came
looks
on
dope.
at the
I was actually gonna compliment your hat because I thought it was dope.
last as Landon. And listen, Landon, he got all of these hats now that he don't wear.
Yeah, because it's
And
dreads.
he got his dreads, and so he got snapback, so he can wear them technically, but don't for some reason. He hadn't worn. I don't think Landon's worn a hat in probably 2 years now, though, man. So I said, oh yeah, now that we are officially wearing kind of the same size, like there's some clothes and shirts that I would get in a large, but you know me, I like my large to be slimmer larges, right? So it's more of a medium fit for him. So we wearing a lot of the same sizes and everything. So now he's in my closet, I'm in his closet. I'm in it's going down now, though, man. Yeah,
Yeah. Me and Deuce was like that with shoes for just a whole minute, but then his foot got
yeah.
bigger. So, and I'm glad he's taller
Well,
than me.
I think that Landon's feet are actually big. Well, not think his feet are bigger than mine,
Mhm.
and I got a feeling he's probably gonna be taller than me. Maybe a little bit. He might be equal, but if his feet are bigger than mine, I think that Landon may be he might be like 6'2", maybe.
Yeah,
We'll see.
that's what's up. You
Yeah,
know
but
what I
I was
mean?
proud. I snatched his hat on though real quick. I was like, yeah, look kind of cool.
What you want to start with first?
Got to get to the Cam Newton, bro.
Get to the Cam Newton. That's very funny terminology because
Let's
about
get to the
seven
Cam Newton,
people
bro.
got to Cam Newton.
Did they
He got
really though?
they. Hey, Cam was handling his own, bruh.
Let's
Cam was
talk about
handling
it.
his own. Yeah. So during a 7-on-7 camp, Cam had been, jabbering off with some coaches, and I guess finally they got fed up with it, and so 7 people ended up trying to jump him allegedly, and but Cam he took a sucker punch, and then the brawl just happened, and bro, Cam was throwing haymakers, bro. He had people in the headlock, but more impressive than that, I think that everybody's pretty much commenting on was the fact that his hat never moved.
Did he got it taped in there or something, pinned in there or something?
Now his hat never moved, bro. What's your thoughts on this?
Hey, it's kidding. Let me tell you this though. Okay. Because I thought I saw a video on TikTok where one of the dudes who he was fighting said while this was going on that he had took some money out of Cam Newton's pockets. He had a bloody mouth in the process of it though, right? But either way, this is the way I look at it. If me, you, listen, I only roll with about 7 solids. Solid dudes. When I'm trying to think, me, you, PBR, Damian, Ben, Court, let's say from Khalid, Randy, Mill. 7, I can say safely. Chad. If we all jump one person and his hat does not come off, we didn't successfully jump that person. We did not execute the assignment. So, with all things considered, I didn't see Cam fall to the ground. I didn't see him get pounded out. I didn't see him. I didn't see him take the solid extra punches. that you are supposed to get when you get jumped. So with that being said, if Cam Newton is getting jumped and he gets off 3 solid punches in the midst of that, and you see me haymaker somebody, and I got somebody in the head like throwing these things, I give Cam Newton the W on this one though, bro. Like if you think, dog, and not just that, I hope that there's never footage of us jumping somebody and they not like that's light. So it's unfortunate, bro, because I think that it's at a youth game, and I understand that there's trash talking, you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, it's unfortunate. But I think at the same time, if you Cam Newton and you say, "Yeah, I got jumped, and this was the outcome," I count that as a dub. And to be honest with you, if I'm Cam Newton on my fight record, if it was 7 dudes that jumped me, I got 7 W's, bro. In one day, 7 W's.
I 100% agree. They definitely did not stand on business in that moment. That was the first time I ever said that. And it would be the last time. I hate that.
It's your first time saying that on business.
Listen, I have
First time
avoided
I've
that.
ever heard you say that, bro.
I've never said it. I've never said it, and I will never say it again. I hated it so much. I hated it. It was horrible, bro.
That's the first time I've ever heard you say, like, I'm talking about, listen, I've never heard you say that to me in conversation, bro.
No, not. I'm telling you, it's the first time ever came out of my mouth. I hadn't even said it. I haven't even said it when it first started with the whole T.I. and Major. I have never said it, bro. And I will never say it again. It was horrible. I hated it. I want no parts of it.
You're so often now, though, bro. Like, you know what stand on business remind me of? Standing on business reminds me of when I heard people start to say swag, and it reminds me of the gritty, right? Everybody's doing the gritty. It's like a common pop culture thing. Stand on business is that, though, bro. And that's the first time I've ever heard you say that, bro.
Yeah, I can't do it, bro. It's not for me. But
Mm.
I'm just saying, bro. But let me ask you this though. So I've heard people say because of this incident that we as a community, referring to the black community, like saying that we got to do better, right? And we're better than this. I've heard people say we're better than this. But because this stuff keeps happening in our community, are we really better than this? Is this what we do,
Nope.
Brad?
That's what we do. Listen, man, you know what it is? Here's the thing about it. It's right there with soul food being part of our community, right? But also one of the detriments because it's one of the sources of high blood pressure, hypertension, diabetes, our diet. It's part of it's unfortunately I'm not gonna even say the con, bro. These kind of things are part of being black, bro. That's just how I look at it, bro. And to me, I look at this right alongside of black people loving fried chicken, watermelon, collard green, fighting at a 707 game. It's all black culture to me.
But does it make us like is it negative though? Because one thing
Yes,
is
it
one
is.
okay, because one thing Unc said, right? Shannon Sharp, he said Peyton Manning, Eli Manning have had camps and stuff before. You'll never hear no fights breaking out.
Their camps aren't in the communities that Cam Newton would be having his camps at. Right.
I
That's the
it,
difference.
it doesn't. That's the thing, though, right? Is because in the black community, it seems like fighting is do you understand what I'm saying? It's like
I understand. Yes, I do. So you're saying in the black community, does fighting have to be an option?
I mean, we have to fight all of our life, though, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that's it's like if you don't fight back, then what are you standing for? You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, nah, I wasn't finna say it. I wasn't finna say it. All I'm saying is it just feels like that is the first resort. You know what I'm saying? Is we gotta fight. Like, I'm not
And
gonna let
listen. First off, shout out to my brother Cinematic checking in on YouTube because he subscribes to the Slash Brothers YouTube page. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. Probably one of the most humble people I know is my bro Cinematic, right? One of the most giving and kind-hearted people I know. But I can tell you today that there is a scenario that he would be ready to slap the dog piss out of somebody. It is just one, and this, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know that other cultures, American cultures, and when I say that, I mean Puerto Ricans, white, Mexicans, Jamaican Americans. I'm talking about in subcultures within America. I don't know that other subcultures within American culture that's as high on the yes, this can happen list. Like it's as it being an option. It's like talking to you for 5 minutes, talking to you for 15 minutes, or we ain't even got to talk at all. So I think that that's where I look at it. It's just like, unfortunately, though, man, I think that Black people can be better than that. Yes. But we can't necessarily take all the goods and know that this happens regularly within our community and say that it's not us. And nor can we say it's, yes, we can say it's beneath us. It should be beneath us, but I think that it's very much us though,
man. And the
man.
other unfortunate thing too is we wouldn't even be talking about this 7-on-7 thing if this wouldn't have happened. Like we couldn't just say Cam was out doing something positive because he has.
Can't you imagine? Can't you imagine? But here's how we can test it out. Our parents are in their 60s. Can't you imagine a scenario where your mama would try to put her hands on somebody?
Oh yeah.
Okay, then. And so Cam Newton, who was barely 34, Chris Brown older than Cam Newton, bro. By the way, when we're talking about this, put some context to this, right? Um, but I think that from you think about that age, that spread. I can think of a scenario right now that my mama at 63 years old can find a reason to put them hands on somebody, though, right? So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
It is
And
unfortunate.
I'm going to tell you this, though. I'm going to tell you this. I can say this that the older I've gotten, the less of an option it's become. Right now, before, I was completely with all the smoke. As I've gotten older, it's become less of an option, right? It's less of one of those things on the it's almost like throwing them hands will always be an option, right?
Yes,
But it's just
it's
not
gonna take you more to get you there.
it's gonna take more. That's not as much of a yeah, man. So it happens though, man. But Cam's still young enough to where he got time for that though, bro. And I'm just saying, if you run up on, it's gonna take that many to jump a guy who's 6'5", 6'6", 255 pounds, who was a superior athlete, right? He is always ready. So I'm just sitting here thinking, like, I don't know. For him to come out of there fairly unscathed and not hat fall off, yeah, that's a dub. If he falls 7 guys, that's 7 W's to me, though, bro.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
What else we got?
Yo, so here's what I think is interesting, though, right? Because I think that there's been the one thing that I haven't seen in quite some time are these like scuffles, right? So we saw that in Miami, the boys got into like a little scuffle, right? Miami Heat got into a scuffle, NBA. I think that the Nets got into like a little scuffle. There's been like it was almost like what the hell is going on in the air?
Even Denver, because I saw Jokic just got suspended for leaving the bench.
Yeah, all these little scuffles. And here's my thing. I think that what I've been seeing though, even in basketball, in college basketball, I mean, you've been seeing like different guys been catching these little sucker punches, sucker elbows, and everything like that. Here's what my question for you. Because I've never seen NBA players, right? Real NBA. I always tell you, NBA is the most somebody hold me back, shoulda, coulda, woulda, whatever. Because for all intents and purposes of any sport, their whole body is the most exposed. Baseball, they wear hats. Catchers wear a whole little uniform to catch some extra protection. In baseball, you can wear the different elbow pads. Football, you got a whole uniform. In basketball, your whole body is exposed. And so, in theory, if it's really that kind of negative energy, if it's really that kind of smoke, you would think that in basketball, that it would happen more often because the opportunity is there if you really about that, if you own that time. So my question for you is that are these just really outliers? Are they really anomalies? And maybe, like, what's your expectation of the possibility of there really being a true, not just scuffle in the NBA? Rondo throwing a punch on Chris Paul, Brandon
Well,
Ingram coming with the haymaker.
what's her name? Alvarado or whatever his name is, the one from the Hornet. I mean,
Alvarado, yeah.
he threw a punch. That's why he got suspended for 5 games.
Yeah.
So I mean, the I think the right people, it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we have found like I think the stars know what it is. Like Jimmy Butler, right? He didn't swing on no dude. He grabbed his neck. And that's because his neck got grabbed. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he was only suspended for 1 game. So the stars understand like the impact that can happen if they are to throw a punch. Now, some of these, like Alvarado, you already been out. You know what I'm saying? You just now coming back from injury. So we didn't play without you. So it ain't really no thing for him. You know what I'm saying? Giannis' brother throw a punch. You know what I'm saying? Like you have those people on the squad that can do stuff like that.
See, I look at it like this. I think that there are guys. Nobody's gonna listen. Nobody's gonna be like, "Ooh, did y'all must have really felt the impact of Thanasis Antetokounmpo missing today's game." Listen, he can miss the whole season, and I don't think it would impact them whatsoever. But with that being said, right, I still just don't like. Listen, part of me just don't believe NBA guys. Now, listen, I think that you'd be more inclined to find somebody in just street ball, pickup ball, maybe even more in college, right? That you could see these things. Like even with that being said, like where I play ball at outside, I think I've only seen maybe or heard of maybe 2 fights in the 15 plus years of playing at the same place, right? And then and I happen to know one of the guys where it happened, and this was a very much outside of a kind of normal thing. But you always see guys get very, very, very intense though, right? Where it's like, all right, you know what, listen, it could go there, but it just never do. And usually, there's somebody like me that come in and kind of diffuse things and break it on up. But NBA, it's twofold, right? Because you're right, you do have things to lose because to Alvarez or Alvarado, him being suspended for 5 games, I think would hurt him more because he doesn't make the most money already, though, right? So I think that that's one. But somebody like Jimmy Butler, you could be like, hey, you know what? If I get suspended, 25 games, that's a quarter of your salary. So if you're making, $30 million a year, that's about $12 million you're gonna miss. So I can see why that might, you might be like, all right, I ain't gonna go there. But I do think that because of one, the money that you would lose, and I just don't think that I honestly don't believe that there are NBA like you're in the NBA, because your skill set is playing basketball, not fighting though, bro. So I don't believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there are some dudes in the NBA that can fight, but I think that that's the minority. I think that if you ask me, bro, I think if you put 95% of the NBA in a gym and start to throw punches on a speed bag or a body bag, I think they would look crazy out there, though, bro. So because of that, I just don't think that it's I think that the scuffles are just somebody trying to act like they not a punk, and that's the only way that you can do that. But there's not going to be punches thrown for all the reasons that we talked.
Yo, who was the cat that threw the sucker punch before the game and they ended up arresting him? And then he ended.
Um, that was Isaiah Stewart for the Pistons. He
Right.
stuffed somebody in like the breezeway, like
Yeah.
way before the game.
Right. And then they arrested him, but then he got suspended. What, 25? How many games did he get?
I think he got like a dub, at least 20. But he actually he was the one, if you remember, he had gotten like elbowed in his eye by LeBron and he was bleeding all over the place. And he was the one that just kept trying to charge at LeBron. And meanwhile, you see, listen, this is my favorite thing about that. But you see, while he's acting a fool, you see Russ right in the background, like, being real inconspicuous, waiting for it to pop off, right? Because if he do, he got the wah, wah, wah on his side. So it's like, no. So he had that. He's had a few little brush ups though, man. Like he had a few with Blake Griffin when they was on teams, and when Blake moved on to Celtics. He's been involved with a few of those things though, bro. And I don't know if it's just like people look at him like, well, he has this reputation, but he's like Detroit's tough guy. So if there's ever gonna be a time where somebody is involved with anything, he's gonna find a way to insert himself in. I think he's always with the smoke, bro. But
He gonna
shout
be
out to
sitting down for
Cinematic
him.
because the Detroit is his account. He said they dropped all the charges, though, man.
Well, I guess it's good for him.
So it's good. He just recently signed a contract with them. He re-upped with them like a couple of years ago, though, man. So he's only been in the league for maybe like 5, maybe 6 years, though, man. So yeah, he got money to lose now, though, bro. So I mean, the
Yeah.
suspension's gonna add up.
Yo, did you happen to watch the Mia Coppola, the Tyler Perry movie with Kelly Rowland?
I didn't. I didn't. I didn't, and I don't think that I will, bro.
I don't think
Saw
you're
it.
missing anything, bro.
Oh my god.
Here's
Listen,
the thing.
Go ahead.
I will say this. For it to be a Tyler Perry movie, I was impressed with the quality of it. Because normally with the Tyler Perry movies, we see the messed up wigs, like none of that was the issue. Not like the outfits was cool, like everything was fine. The storyline itself, like the writing just was, it was kind of all over the place. Like it had one of those weird Get Out type vibes at the twist for it. And it fell so flat because there was just some character arcs that didn't make sense at all. Like I'm talking about that would never happen. Like I can understand certain aspects of things happening, but there was such a switch in the character that was just like, okay, womp womp. Like, and it just kept going and it kept going. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like I said, Kelly Rowland was in there. She was in there, Kelly Rowland.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll be honest with you, bro. Be honest with you. Part of me wants to just watch it, and I would be perfectly fine, bro, watching it on mute. I don't even gotta see nothing. I just listen. I saw that Neek was watching it, and I was like, God, Kelly Rowland's out here looking fine. Listen, when I'm watching it, bro, watching the movie, but I do see that it's on. I'm walking past. You know, and I'm saying every time I see her on there, I'm thinking like, God dang, was she fine. And even when I see like the cover of the thumbnail, everything about it, Kelly Rowland is absolutely fine. And then what's wild about it is that part of me just don't want to see Kelly Rowland be in a bad Tyler Perry movie. So as long as I don't see it, it doesn't exist, right? But then just as sure
See,
as I say that,
go ahead.
oh listen, I'm on TikTok and all on my feed, everybody's talking about how bad the movie is. Everybody is saying that, listen, you mean to tell me that you got Kelly Rowland out the house, who you never see her out and about. You done got Kelly Rowland out to do this, and people are trashing it on everywhere that I see. And I just feel like I don't want to see Kelly Rowland in that light. So by me not seeing it keeps me naive and oblivious to the noise, though, bro.
But here's the thing: all the acting was A1, except for the opposition in the movie, without spoiling anything. Meaning that there's a set of people in the movie. They are like cartoon character villains, where everybody else is acting normal, right? Kelly Rowland did an amazing job. The dude who she's representing did an amazing job. Even Kelly Rowland's husband did an amazing job. All the surrounding actors and actresses did an amazing job. But then you have this little brief opposition of people, and their characters don't quite fit. And so, like I said, the acting is fine. It's the story. It's the script. Like it's if you were to have this same cast but had better writing, would have been no issue. I mean, because like you what I'm saying is, as us as artists, right? We look at things from all different angles. Meaning, like, oh, the cinematography was great, the lighting was great, like everything was A1, the production quality value, everything was great, right? But then it was like I said, the script, like it just was like just man.
Yeah, I just, man, listen, man. I can't. I don't. I wanted to watch it, but I didn't. I don't want to see Kelly Rowland like that, bro. I don't want to see anything that has to do with negativity associated with Kelly Rowland. So I didn't. And then listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wanted to watch it, but I didn't know that it was even a Tyler Perry movie because when I saw the preview, it didn't say a Tyler Perry film or Tyler Perry studio thing. So I was like, wow, you know, this is a, like I said, great quality looking movie. It didn't look Tubi or nothing like that. But then as soon as I saw Tyler Perry, I was just like, oh my God. I don't know, man. So
Now let's save the big thing for last, because I got one more. Did you watch any of the Wendy's doc?
you know, no, listen. Listen, okay. I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you the reason why. So similarly to why I didn't see Kelly Rowland. Okay, I've been over Wendy
Mhm.
Williams as a personality. Like I'm talking about, like I never was the biggest. Like I thought that. So this is what I think. So you gotta think though. I remember the Wendy Williams, the radio personality,
Yeah.
Wendy Williams, right? And I thought that she did a very good job where she had her daytime talk show of basically kind of repairing, or not even just repairing, but polishing this version of the radio version of her, right? And so, and I remember she became more like likable, right, when she was on TV, and that was despite the stuff that she was associated with in the past, the airing out the dirty laundry of anybody's stuff and everything, right? So with that being said, I'm cool with that being the last impression of Wendy Williams that I had. Like I know that she's been going through some health issues and everything, right? And I guess to me, for me personally, it was somebody who I was already past. And the last time I saw them, I'm okay with that being the version of them that I last saw. So from that, I'm not. I wasn't interested in watching the doc. No, I wasn't.
Well, I didn't watch the doc either, but Sarah was watching it, and so I caught clips, and then of course, TikTok has everything on there, so it really does have Wendy looking bad. It's because they're filming this when she's not well. You know what I'm saying? Like, for her, she has a form of dementia. I don't know the technical names for it, but she has this form of dementia. And this part of the disease, you have issues communicating and understanding certain times. And so they're filming her, and you can just see her not all there, right? Like they asked her one time, this girl asked her, she was like, "Hey, do you want to go to the Oscars?" And she's like, "What's the Oscars?" And so the girl was like, it's like an award show. She said, "Okay, well, I want to go in this outfit here." And she was like, "Nah, you can't do that. Like, you need to get like a formal dress. Like, you got to be formally dressed up." And she just looked so she had no clue what this girl was talking about. And it's just different stuff because you see her just spaz out immediately. This girl came to do her nails, and so she was like, "Oh, hey, I'm doing this." She said, "No, take it off, take it off." Like she was just spazzing out. It's just different stuff, that she's not well, but the person, and then they awarded custody of her to somebody, and you can just see like they're exploiting her because they're promising her like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get you back on TV. We're gonna get the Wendy Williams show back. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do all this stuff." And her son is like, "My mom has done enough. Like, she needs help. Like, the alcoholism mixed with the dementia, it's just a lot." And so, for him, I know it's to watch your mom going through this. And the other thing too is they want her to go back to New York, where she's around people that all they want to do is exploit her. And he's like, "Man, she doesn't need to be in New York. She doesn't need to be around these people." It's such a, just like I said, if you have any sort of, like, I can understand if your fan is of Wendy Williams and you want to watch that because it's one of your heroes or whatever the case may be. Because I feel like Wendy to me was a part of like Jerry Springer was a thing, right? Wendy Williams was a thing. It's that genre, that time period that impacted everybody's life, so to speak. Whether you knew who Wendy was or not, you knew of her. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like I said, you can see that fans are truly concerned about her though. So very just interesting.
I don't, like I said, I don't care. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this though, because I saw some people talking about this talking about her doc on TikTok. Still, it's pretty interesting that the minute she brought up Tabitha Brown, and commented on Tabitha, everything went downhill like the next day, bro. Everybody loves Tabitha Brown, bro. I'm surprised Tabitha though got her own replacement TV show for that though, man. But anywho, I think this is crazy. I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to. No interest in seeing it. I probably will never watch it.
That's kind of like me with Surviving R. Kelly. Never watched it. Not even haven't seen a 5 minutes of it.
I've seen every single one of those. That is one that I think is interesting, though. That is interesting.
I've never watched that one, and I've never watched the one about Michael either.
I never saw the one about Michael. For no particular reason. Now that I think about it, I just had never seen it. But the one for the R. Kelly, I think that it was just such a big thing to me because I think that it was one of the first times that you saw some true firsthand accounts for it, where it's like, okay, no, this is what happened. These were the people, and they were saying names. And I think that that's the part that to me that was more interesting. To where before it was like you heard that these things happened, right? And even though there was especially this came out, they were working on the doc before he was actually put in jail. So then when he actually went to jail, and then you start to for them to unfold everything out there in front of you. Yeah, it was. I thought that the Surviving R. Kelly was really, really good. Now, listen, if you ever do, you probably won't watch it, but I think the thing that it does is it still provides the information about it, but it also the people that are telling the story. It doesn't necessarily make them look the best either, though, right? That's why I think that it's a true. This is what happened, even if that meant that we look kind of stupid in the process. So it's worth checking out. I think anyway.
I'm cool on it. I don't know. It's one of those things like I don't know what Robert Kelly did. I know about R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? So I respect R. Kelly, but yeah, I don't know what Robert was doing in his personal life. I never knew that dude.
Hey, you see this? Once you see this, though, boy, let me tell you, though, boy. Yeah.
All right, we saved it for the end on purpose. I'm gonna let you set it on up.
Okay, so we've been talking. So a while back, this was like a couple of months ago. We talked about some of the allegations that Cassie was going to court with, basically, though, right? So apparently, she had a while back. She had some kind of agreement. I don't know if it was just like an NDA or whatever with Diddy. And she was basically going to court because she was originally said she was going to sue Diddy for X amount of dollars. And she said, hey, you know what? They were trying to shoo her away. And she was like, okay, bet. Here are some of the things we're going to be talking about in this tell-all book, all right? And Diddy at first came out and said he's going to deny categorically all these things that she said. And she said, okay, well, that's cool then. Well, we're going to go ahead and put out some of these things that were out here in these court filings and whatnot. And he immediately, the next day, settled. And I think that everybody said that it was somewhere around $20-30 million or whatever. At least that was how much the original request was for. But in that documentation, Cassie came out and said, hey, you know what? I was drugged. I was forced to have sex with other guys while he watched, and I was working with he had me out here getting laid with sex workers, yada yada yada. Okay. Fast forward, new allegations come out. Now, mind you, when Cassie comes on out, there was the statute of limitation was running out in the state of, I believe, New York, where if you had any, sexual assault crimes or whatever, they had to be filed by a certain date. So people were coming, from way back in the day, what I'm saying, about things that could have happened with Diddy. And, people kind of looked at them like they were trying to do a quick little money grab or whatever. So fast forward yesterday, a producer, Lil Rod, who apparently produced 9 songs on Diddy's recent album, came out with allegations of Diddy actually also sexually assaulting him. Now listen, Ace Kennedy, I'm reading the things that they're saying on this, and this dude is saying very much like Cassie. I'm not just talking. I got proof. I got pictures. I got videos. I got recorded conversations and whatnot, though, right? And apparently he's looking for $30 million. That's his thing. $30 million settlement that he's basically requesting. It's the lawsuit. So I don't think that his is criminal. It's civil, basically, though, at least from what I've gathered. But in the court filings, he's naming names, right? So he goes as far as to say, with Stevie J, right? Stevie J, Hitman, they do all the hits for Diddy back in the day. Says he got video of Stevie J and some dude getting down. Got video, got conversations or notations of Young Miami trying to get down with him for Diddy. Got the boy Diddy parading around in the nude. Listen, this is what I'm wondering. Justin too said that when Diddy would have his parties, Justin was in charge of corralling the sex workers. He would gather them all up for his parties that were in all his different homes and whatnot. Ace Kennedy, if any of these allegations are true and come to light, I think the boy Diddy is officially done, bro.
Devil's advocate. what if this is just the lifestyle of Diddy, right? And it's meaning that two things can be true, where it's like these parties happened, but it's not the way he's explaining it, because you were probably cool with it when it was going down, when you was living the lifestyle or whatever. Because see, again, okay, let me first say I am not denying anything that this young man is saying. I'm not. I'm just playing devil's advocate for the point of the conversation. My thing is, another part of his thing is that he signed a deal where he gets pennies for producing these things, and now this album has done triple platinum or whatever the case may be. So he's like, we signed these deals and we didn't get much money. I'm trying, and they tried to steal my publishing. So it's like coincidental that that this suit is out and for this specified amount of money. Now again, all of those things could have very well been true, as far as him allegedly saying that he was drugged, waking up naked, and finding himself in compromising positions, and all of the things that he was exposed to. But at the same time, when I say two things can be true, is because if this is how Diddy gets down and you participate, then you are consensual adult that's participating in it. Now, understand, some of his allegations include underage women as well. So I understand that part, but I'm talking about from the consensual adult standpoint of the drugs and the sex and different things of that nature. If that's something you were willingly participating in, you can't then call foul now that it's over and you don't want any part of it. That's what I'm saying.
Listen, Ace Kennedy. When we be in the studio and we vibing, bro, and we out here trying to make a dope song, right? And I come out of a room while you over here. Hey, Charlie, check out these chords for these beats that I'm going boom, and I walk in on you, butt ass naked. Well, imagine that that's where our friendship is. Let alone our music relationship, right? Like if I come to you ball swinging by the keyboard, my meat is touching the beat machine, bro. There's no going back after that, though, right? So that's that. But this is my thing. If you're Diddy, and if there's an ounce of truth in this, and for years there have been these allegations about and these things about your private life that you would like to keep private, right? Then if you settled for Cassie and this dude has something that's more damning than Cassie, then I figure that you have to immediately do the same thing. Even if you come back and say, I categorically deny these things, but in following my counsel, they said that it's best to do this. So, but there's no way that if this dude can come out to confirm everything that people would hear about what goes on in Diddy's private life, right? If he comes out with the things that prove it, even if he is disgruntled about his royalties, if he's mad that he didn't get, that's fine. We say this all the time. Both things can be true. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if he's mad, happy, sad, glad, whatever. If you're Diddy, and as long as what he's saying is true, and not just that it's true, it's like, what do your receipts look like? Right? If you tell me that he's lying, that's fine if that's your position, right? Because it's your word against his. It can be perspective, right? But bruh, if he come out with these receipts though, and he has receipts, videos of Diddy in compromising positions, if he has video and pictures of people that are associated with Diddy in very compromising positions. I don't care how disgruntled he is. Like that, to me, that tops everything. And that's more the reason why Diddy would want to not have that come out. Because it could very well be that, hey, this just Diddy. Diddy might just be like, hey, behind closed doors, I'm a freak. That's fine. But do you really want people to know how much of a freak you are? And so if this dude has that kind of confirmation, then I think that's to me, that's too damning of information for Diddy to even want to risk getting out. So he has to settle as quickly as possible, the same way he did with Cassie, bro. If not faster.
Yeah, I don't know what his counsel is advising him to do, because it's one of those things that I think if you pay it off, it gets lost in the news cycle, because something else crazier is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how the cycle works, right? Another story is gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? We never did talk about the lady who had her 5-year-old waxing her clients. You know what I'm saying? There's stuff that's constantly
That's
coming
crazy.
out. So I think it's best for them. And again, I don't know. I ain't counting Diddy's pockets. I don't know his pockets like that. But at the same time, it's like so much has happened since he's dropped this incredible album. He can't even celebrate the album, do a tour, or nothing like that, because his name is just getting drugged and drugged and drugged. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I- if I was his legal team, I would advise him to just take care of it and move on. That would be my response.
I think 50 Cent is gonna have a field day with this. But again, bro, this is all I'm saying. I think that at some point, because you think about this though, bro. We okay. This always comes up today when Chris Brown does something and you bring up Rihanna still 15 years later, right? It's still it's gonna follow him forever. I honestly believe that because Cassie is such a private person these days, that she puts out what she wants to put out. So, like, I wouldn't have known that she, was pregnant, that she had kids. You just saw her really fall back and disappear, right? But I think that with all things considered, I think that if Diddy settled with Cassie, I can honestly see people not necessarily forgetting that, but I think in the short term, I can see people slowly start to disassociate the Cassie allegations for him, like in the short term, right? Like I can see a scenario where if Diddy hadn't dropped his album right when he did, right? If he would have dropped his album in the summertime, right, this summer, I think that honestly though, bro, if the if P Diddy, the artist, the music mogul, if that project was like, unfortunately, I can see people not trying to cancel him. I can see people not trying to bury him, bro. But I think that it's the timing of when he put out his project and the timing of when she actually did. It's just, but I don't know. I don't know that Diddy can get over on this
He
if he
could,
doesn't settle.
yeah, if he doesn't settle. If he settles, he
If he
easily
doesn't
could, because
settle,
because
yeah,
here's the thing. If he settles, right, then of course an NDA will be signed. So it's just
facts.
allegations that they were underage women. So if you take that part away, the actual parties and the stuff that happened at the parties, people can say, "Oh, that's just Hollywood," right? And move on, because we're in 2024, and all of those sexual things that are out there with, multiple genders and stuff like that being fluent, all of that, it's not really that big of a deal in 2024. So people can move past all of that. But like you said, if it goes like, nah, we go into court and then all of this stuff is exposed, yeah, he ain't getting past it.
It's the proof. It's listen. I don't know how in hip hop And I say that even though Diddy is an R&B guy, Diddy, you can't write the history of hip hop without including Diddy and the bad boy era, right? But with that being the case, Diddy is from the era where those kind of things, and I say those kind of things, I think of being gay. I think that that's been more acceptable for females, but that's not something that in the hip hop world that you could just openly go ahead and be, and then still be a top artist, selling artist. It's as odd enough as ironic as that sounds, right? When we talk about inclusion and all these other things, I think that it's still a taboo thing. But to have, Don, I'm talking about to have the proof put out there for public consumption, though, bro. It's you can't. I can't fathom a way that you ever are able to explain that to not just black culture, because I think black culture would be like, hey, if that's what you do, that's what you do. But the hip hop culture within black culture, you never get past it, bro. You always become the punchline. You always become the butt of the joke. You always, you never get past that.
Yeah, and like you said, 50 gonna have a field day with it.
I got a question for you.
What's up?
Okay. If this came out, if you're Diddy, do you do a Carfax of yourself? Do I got any unsettled grievances out there with something like this? Because how does this come out and did he not know about it? Right? Like, so he had to have known that there was some kind of case that he had something to say.
No, that's not it. Diddy believes in his NDAs. But the problem is people are starting to not care about the NDAs. Or the ramifications that comes with it, because supposedly if you sign an NDA, then you aren't allowed to speak on it, say anything. But the problem is there's always these loopholes in the NDA. We brought it up when we was talking about Vince, right? When the girl signed it, there's a law that says if there's something to do with sex trafficking or this, that, and the other, it null and voids the NDAs. And so the thing is like we talked about, allegedly bringing up the underage women. I'm sure that probably has something that can cancel the NDA. So I think Diddy knows there are skeletons out there, but he also is like, but he's partied with some of the elite, right? And it's like they signed NDA, so they shouldn't be able to come out. But like I said, it's just more and more people aren't even caring about that, because if you become guilty in the court of public opinion, then you've kind of like done what you was intending to do.
But even with that said, though, right, doesn't that also start to make you guilty by association as well? Because then it's like, let's just say if all those things became true about Diddy, right? If it came out, well, then it's like, well, wait a minute now. Who else attended these parties, right? That opens a whole nother Pandora's box.
Funny you say that, because there were some redacted names in the lawsuit.
Yes, sir, it was. And some of those names implied that they were Chris Brown, Meek Mills, that were redacted. And mind you, that they've been removed, but it's enough content around that. But then it's like, well, wait a minute. If that was Chris Brown and that was Meek Mills, right? Meek Mills is a Rick Ross artist, and Rick Ross and Diddy were real cool. So then does that also say that associates Diddy? That who else was cool with them? French Montana. Was French Montana associated with it as well? And that's why, for me, because you're talking about parties and partying with the elite, for hip hop, it's still saying, were you there? Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but
I
this is the
totally
thing,
believe.
though. There's a difference between a Diddy party and a Diddy after party. And so the thing is that I don't, again, I didn't personally read the allegations, but So I don't know which parties they attended, because if you've been to a Diddy party, then that automatically associates you, so to speak, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean you participated in the Diddy after party favors.
So doesn't it seem plausible, right? Like when they say you go in there and you got a bunch of sex workers. In my head, right? It seems like it's such of a no, not a normal thing, but that let's just say that you have the parties, and then there are these elite after parties. And I'd imagine that yeah, you have like the sex workers. And my sex workers, you could say this could be strippers, this could be dancers, this could be whoever. But you would say you go to this party, and let's say you saw this little baddie, and you was like, yeah, and somebody was like, yeah, I hear you could knock that down if you want to. Oh, really? Like that, see, to me seems like a very unfortunate. That's how I look at the elite of when they have these private parties, though, right? Like that. At least in every movie where there's these kind of things, it seems like that's happening.
But again, if you are a consensual adult, doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't matter when it comes to the criminal aspect of it. But again, the association, public opinion, it can be worse than the criminal. I don't know,
Last
bro.
last story to get you out on, bro. So your boy Ye was out complaining again about Adidas. They done dropped some more Yeezys, some new colorways, and he's like, "Listen, they are putting out these new colorways that I didn't approve, so they fake colorways, and they're also suing me for $250 million, and they're not paying me. So y'all shouldn't be buying these shoes and whoopty whoopty whoop." What do you feel about this, bro?
Okay, so this is what I think about it. I've never been. Listen, you and I love sneakers. I'm not loyal to anybody in the sneaker business, right? So that let me put that out there to begin with. But at the same time, thought that on the Yeezys that they came out with that they no longer had like Yeezy 350 on the side of them. At least the one that I saw on the Adidas site, they didn't actually have the YZY on there. Am I tripping? Did you see that as well?
Couldn't I can't properly answer that
Okay,
question.
but listen, if you're selling Yeezys that Yeezys not associated with, right? Then to me that's like selling replicas, right? So
No,
from that
I
regard,
don't agree with that. I don't agree
you
with
don't
that.
agree with that?
No,
Okay,
this is
so
the thing.
listen.
This is why I say that. It would be like, so Kyrie left and joined the Chinese company that has his new shoe, right? So is
Yeah, I
Nike,
see where you're going
oh,
with
so
that.
Nike is supposed to stop selling the old Kyries that they had in stock? No,
Even
because when you
but
were signed, listen what I'm saying. When you were
yeah,
signed to Adidas, this is your shoe, but you signed a contract that it's almost like your royalties, right? Your masters, right? If you're signed to a company and they have your masters, they own that. So they get to distribute it and do what they want with it. So that design, while it might have been a design that he helped create or whatever the case may be, Adidas still owns that. So it's just like
I get
Nike.
it.
Nike has a pair of Yeezys. Do you think they're gonna
Yeah.
stop calling them the Yeezys because Kanye went to
Well,
Adidas?
well, but this Nike has it. You know what would really be? I'm surprised that Nike has it. You know how crazy the shoe game would be if Nike re-released their Yeezys, the original. That would to me be so game. That would be to me would top any Jordan release right about now. If you said no, we about to re-release the original Yeezys, and we gonna only put out X number of pair. That would be like the biggest shoe grab ever. But either who. Listen, I'm not loyal to any particular brand, nor am I that much of a sneakerhead to want to feel some kind of compliance or loyalty to Yeezy's thoughts, not any more or less than I am for Adidas putting out the shoe. So for me, if they put out the shoe and it's available for me that at a price that I'm cool with paying, then I'd be inclined to get them. But I think that for me, I'm not loyal to Yeezy enough to just go ahead and say, all right, you know what? Yeah, he said it, so I ain't buying them. Like if I don't buy them, it's not because Yeezy said so.
Yeah, I just don't think he has a leg to stand on with this one. While I understand his creative, from the creator standpoint of why are you still putting out my product that we, did business on? Like once you sold out of your stock, that should have been it for that particular shoe. But technically, contractually, they have the right to do it.
I understand. It's just like to me, then I would look at that like, well, as long as Adidas has the rights to the Yeezy shoes, then why not then just keep putting out? Why ever discontinue it then, right? Why does it have to end? If you put it out now, why not every year you have regular releases, right? Like you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's just that's the way I look at it. Like it doesn't have to end then. Your business relationship end, but the shoe is a top seller, so you continue to put the shoe. Like, why ever discontinue the shoe then if you're gonna put out these? So,
well, see, that's the thing. I don't know what the new agreement is when they settle. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the part, Ye is not going to really say because he started talking about, oh, they're using their lawyer and their years of experience in business to try to cut me out or what, all of that type stuff.
I don't know. So, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you though, man. I'm so hit or miss with Yeezy that he could very well be he could be saying valid stuff, but because I'm so hit or miss with them, he could be hitting and I'm missing, bro. And I just don't. Nah, I don't really care.
Yeah,
I don't think now. If we're talking about, do I agree with this point? Creatively, maybe. Business wise, I don't. As a consumer, I don't care. If I go into the Adidas store and they got some on there and I'm thinking, okay, they fit good, they look good, and they're the price that I want, I'm gonna cop them. Sorry, Ye.
Yeah.
Now, if if Yeezy has a version of those on his site for cheaper, then I'm gonna get the ones on his site though. So
I don't know. All right, bro. What you got for this week?
oh man, for the week I am oh man, so I'm looking to do some mixing. I'm trying to shoot some more content. So I'm linking up with the good folks over at Cinematic Visuals this week. And that's it though, man. I think that like I said, I was hoping to get out and about more, but it's raining it's gonna start raining here for the next few days. So that's gonna keep me in the house. And so because of that though, man, that give me some time to lock in and start trying to get my dude PBR stuff, what I got in my inventory, nice and have final mixes and mastered versions of all those though, man. Yeah, that's it. What about you?
Oh, bro, just gonna be trying to get better, bro. Like I'm not 100% yet, but feel 50% better than I did yesterday. So
That's all good.
yeah, man.
Now I'm the same way. I'm trying to get me a routine going though, man. So yeah, man. Well, let's get that music going, pimping.
All right.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brotherz Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brotherz Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you
of
dig
all
it,
time.
sucker?